Computer go live now. And we are live. And good evening to everyone here, no matter what part of the world you're on. It is another Sunday night, and leading up to Halloween, I'm discussing all things horror, and tonight we're talking about the Evil Dead franchise. Tonight, I'm joined by the sexiest spruce known to man, my girlfriend Jen. She's all dolled up with God knows what she found in the fucking garden, and her chainsaw-handed son.
I'm shaking my leaves for everyone.
Also joined tonight. I'm also joined tonight by Ethel Cross from 13 Originals, and
Giggle fit.
And is no stranger to Sunday nights, no stranger to horror movies, no stranger to sci-fi, and she has a big project coming up at the end of the month for Halloween. We'll get to that after the end of the stream. Next up after that, we have Cara from Horror Retrospective. Check out Cara's channel. She does some great content. She also has a new video up today all about animals and horror. Go check that out. After her, then, we have Chick, Triv. She's a legend. She's super nice, super sound. Check out her content. If you haven't already, I'm going to have a link to herself and the chat next to her as well. We are joined by Garrett, aka Video Tasties. This is a man who knows his VHS and has an extensive collection, so check out his channel as well. So, guys, it is the 40th anniversary of the first Evil Dead movie. And yeah, I've decided we're going to cover the entire franchise, starting off with the first movie, which was released in 1981. Jen, Chris.
What are our thoughts on Evil Dead, the first one? Well, I'll let you start, Ash, because we have a special guest.
It's a classic. It's a classic.
Biased.
It's one of my favorite 80s horror films. While it's not my favorite of the franchise, we'll get to that, but I really, really like it. It's definitely an example of a movie that is it the best made movie? No, but that kind of enhances its charm. It has that great quality of a bunch of film school dropouts deciding, hey, we're gonna make a horror movie in the woods. Are we gonna get horribly maimed and mangled and beat up throughout the process?
Yes.
Yes. Are we gonna hate making it while we do it? Yes. Is it gonna be worth it? Absolutely.
Yeah. I would have to.
It's essentially a remake as well.
Yes.
No. It's essentially a remake as well of a student movie called Within the Woods, right, Christian?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it was originally supposed to be called Book of the Dead, but they changed the title because they thought that people would think, I have to read this movie?
Books, you.
New books.
You kill trees to get books.
That's
I'm
true.
Anti-book myself.
I guess you would be anti-book.
They kill my kind.
So what are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts on Evil Dead is I'm going to disagree with you a little bit because I think it is a masterpiece.
Oh,
I know what you mean, but I actually think I love the spirit. Go ahead.
I think it's just correct.
Okay. I'm sorry. I think it's a spirit. Like, I love that these people just went in the woods, and I love some of the camera tricks and filmmaking. And again, it's something I always love when people have nothing and make something great out of it. I always think that it's cool to have a big budget and you can do stuff, but sometimes putting yourself back against a wall and trying to come up with things you do better, the results just come out better, and just the makeup effects and the passion. It's just an amazing movie. And it's a classic for all horror fans. I mean, you just can't go wrong with it. It's actually, I know this is a controversial opinion for you, but it's my favorite out of the franchise is the first one. You can't top the first one.
I can see that.
So.
It hasn't aged as spryly as the other movies, but there is some really good camera techniques. There's some really kind of innovative ways of shooting and filming. And yeah, it introduced the world to Bruce Campbell, so you can't fault at that. Ethel, what's your thoughts on the first Evil Dead?
Oh, it's awesome. I remember getting this video, the first time I saw it, I was at the local video store, and I was instantly drawn to it because you've got this woman with a hand reaching, pulling around down to the ground and stuff. And I'm like, oh, what's this? Could be a zombie movie. And like I looked at the back, and it looked like it was going to be like the usual kind of movie I watch, where it's low budget and it's not really the most advanced film, which it sort of is like that. But then when you watch it, you find out, oh shit, this is actually a really good movie. And they didn't have much of a budget, but they did like awesome shit with what they had. Like it was amazing. Love it.
Yeah, it was innovative. And as Christian said, it was basically kids. They were essentially kids that that kind of just kind of went off and done their own thing. One of the things that that kind of caught Evil Dead, maybe as a negative thing, later played into its hand and kind of popularized it, was it ended up on the video England. Like, what did you think the original Evil Dead being put in the video nasties list? Did it help the movie? Did it make people want to see it more, or do you think it hindered the distribution of the movie?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, because I didn't see it till probably 90 in the cinema. It was a midnight double bill of the first two before the third came out.
Wow.
Yeah. So I didn't get a VHS till a few years later, and it was heavily edited. So yeah, definitely. But there was the copies of copies hanging around anyway. But I never got to see one.
Were you as did it live up to the expectations? Did you hear a lot about it beforehand? Did it live up to your expectations?
Oh, definitely. Made plasticine scary.
Yeah. Very cool.
Garrett, after watching it, dude, do you think that it deserved to be on the video nasties list? Or you think that whole video nasties thing was
I think the tree could answer that one better than I can. I think that was the main reason, I think.
What about this film would be considered controversial or upsetting to the public?
Why are you looking at me?
I know, right?
It was a tender love scene. It was a tender love scene.
Oh my God.
Even Raimi disowned it.
Yeah, even Raimi said no.
According to Bruce Campbell on the commentary for the DVD, that's when they showed that. That's the scene where they lost most of their female audience. They just straight up walked out.
Yeah,
not me.
Well, and this movie, along with Evil Dead 2, are still unrated. Like, if you look at what they're NC-17, and they never were able to get like an R rating. So that's kind of interesting.
Is it because of my scene?
It doesn't help, but we still love you regardless.
Thank you.
You're first in our hearts.
It redefines tree hugging, though.
Totally does.
God damn it.
The women of the panel.
Kara,
do you think? Does it turn you off? No kidding. Does it? The women of the panel.
Kara, do you think you?
Sorry, Marty.
I was actually going to ask that very same question. Lead away, Jen. Work away.
I just wondered how everyone else felt about it that had vaginas.
Well, that's why there's no sex toys made of wood.
Yeah, it's certainly visceral. Sorry, go ahead.
I was to say, it'd be an unfortunate way to get a splinter in area to get one in. Oh.
Yeah, but if you're into pain, it could be kind of pleasurable but painful. But oh god, but oh god, but oh god.
Well, for the love of
Taking
God,
a slice down the banister isn't always pleasant. That's why you've got to polish your wood.
That's true. That's true. It's nothing like a nice smooth piece of wood.
I find it fascinating. It's all the women who are making the super perverted jokes tonight.
Got to get the min-wax at the ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of lube. Not tree sap lube.
Karen. Kara, do you think the movie would have gotten as much of attention without that scene?
I think it still could have, especially because it's special effects at the time, I believe, were considered revolutionary or just what do you call it, ahead of the curve. Like even that itself got some notice or notoriety, even though it's just very simple claymation. But I think it was very effective. So I think the film would have done just as well had it not had the infamous tree scene.
I personally think they were going for real shock. Like that's what they were aiming for, and they really hit it out of the park with the way that they did that. So for however it falls, I think they needed to get noticed. I think that all of it together kind of brought it to the light.
I agree.
Yeah, like as a package overall, I agree. It does well.
The thing is, go ahead, Cara. Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. I wasn't sure if I was interrupting. No, I was just gonna say, yeah, like I agree. Like the whole shock value, as a package overall, I think it does very well. Whether or not women were offended, or some people think that they went overboard. Just the fact that the surrounding area, the woods or the forest themselves, can be possessed and become evil. I don't know, like, would you say there's kind of something Druid-esque about it? Like everything has its own life, but I think that really ups it. Like you can't leave this place, even if you were to try. It's like something outside is going to get you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Very good point.
Very good point.
Very good point.
Yeah, the woods itself is trying to kill them. You know?
Yeah. Again, Cara brings on a good point. That, like, again, the story revolves around the Necronomicon, which is obviously a creation of Lovecraft. Kind of the idea of this kind of evil book or this evil force, and it is something very fucking primal and kind of dark Lovecraftian kind of ideals of like fucking evil undead spirits like coming back to life, possessing flora and fauna and stuff like that. And he could have easily kind of done a whole kind of, oh, it's a chemical, it's zombies, it's whatever. But no, he went with the Book of the Dead, like.
Yeah, demons were a great idea. Like, you know, like that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. It's original, kind of, rather than bullshit. But Triv, do you think that the having the Necronomicon was a good spin on it and kind of changed things up?
Oh, totally. I think it definitely went in a direction, like you say, that it hadn't gone previously, and it was a good way for the story as a whole to have something to kind of go back to. You know, it's this weird thing that it's like a big red button. It just kind of, you have to open it, you have to look through it. You know, if it's in a weird cabin in the middle of nowhere, how can you not touch it? You know.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the way that everything gets fucked with, like throughout the entire thing, it's just awesome.
I agree.
Totally.
I like how they had the audio recording on the tape recorder, because that was like a good idea, because it saved them the trouble of having to try and explain how they can read this Sumerian book that's not in English and chilling next to it.
Problem
it
solved.
It was a simple answer to, and you could see it across the board, whether you're talking production, whether you're talking any part of it. It did what a good low budget movie does. It milks every dollar. It takes advantage of every possible situation. It goes with the simplest answers and doesn't think about it beyond that.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that sometimes people overthink things. Sometimes the most simplest answers can be your best answers.
Oh, absolutely.
And in a way be the most complex.
Oh, absolutely.
In a dumb way.
The movie is a perfect example of simplicity is best sometimes.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Well, what did you think of the finale, guys?
It's good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. not my favorite climax of the movie, but of the franchise. But I like it quite a bit.
The best climax in the movie is
Oh
an
my
happy ending at last.
Here we go.
I think it's a great ending. Like the ending is great. Like I don't,
fucking way.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go on. Are you talking about the Tom Sullivan puppets and stop motion, Ethel, where the book is burnt?
I'm talking about the whole last ending, like where he burns the book and like, well, geez, I'm spoilers, but like, god damn it, it's 1981. If you haven't seen it yet, like, what the hell, man? Yeah, no, like they burn the book. And you see the Deadite disintegrating, and that's like one of the best parts of the whole film. And it's like it takes you from nighttime to early morning, and you think that, hey, he made it. He friggin' made it. And then, no, he didn't. And they hit that cheesy music at the end, and it's just, it's a great mood they set. And the ending was awesome.
Yeah. If I can add something really quick.
So,
yeah.
What I was going to add
go ahead,
is,
Karen,
like,
go for it.
I think it's a really good ending too, like going off of what Ethel was saying, is like daylight, because you think, oh, it's usually once dawn hits, all the bad stuff happens, but apparently this place is just so evil. It's like it doesn't even care about the traditional horror rules. Like, I'm just still going to claim this guy, and I like how it was just left. You get that relaxing moment where you think, oh, good, he made it out. This poor guy went through all this terrible stuff. Nah, it's not over.
It's never over.
And the poor guy, he gets fucked with so much throughout the entire movie. They clown on him so hard throughout all of it. And I love that kind of continual thing throughout the entire movie. It's a movie you can be scared of and laugh at the same time. And the ending just reinforces that. It's like the forest got one final joke on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a movie that really knows how to blend horror comedy well, and when you do it well, it can be genius, but in the wrong hands, it can really fail.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is one that shows you, hey, these two really do mix well together if they're in the right hands.
Oh yeah.
I do think that this one, it had comedic elements, but it was definitely the more somber of the first two, and Raimi maybe. When he came, but after this movie, he done a movie called Crime Wave, which was an absolute disaster. So he said he'd go and kind of hedge his bets and play it safe and go back to Evil Dead with Evil Dead 2. Sadly, they didn't have the rights to the original footage, so he kind of came in 10 minutes. Ethel, what's your thoughts on? Oh, sorry. What's your thoughts on Evil Dead 2, Ethel?
Oh, it's good. I mean, I like the first one better, but it's kind of neat how they went the route of it's a sequel, but actually it's a remake of the first movie, and that was a surprise when I was watching it. I'm like, so wait a minute, the things that happened in the last movie didn't happen? Okay.
Nope.
And I don't know. laughing head, guys. Laughing moose head.
Oh my god!
I love that moose.
That is great.
That is my favorite character out of that movie.
I know, mine too. I go into antique shops all the time just hoping to find a cheap moose head.
It kind of reminds me of the laughing reindeer in Santa Claus versus the Devil.
I was gonna say that George Harrison music video where he's singing around dancing and all these animals, stuffed animals are.
I got my mind set on you.
Yeah, it's like one of those animals got loose and made it into a horror film.
I guess the thing that sets this film apart, and probably why people love it so much, it gave us the introduction to the chainsaw hand. Finally, that iconic.
And they use the sound across this movie and the other.
Christian, No. Go ahead, Triv. Sorry,
I was
guys, I'm lagging like hell. Apologies. No, it's me. Go for it, Trip.
I was just gonna say that like the use of sound, like the way that they incorporate like sound effects and everything into here, like it's not jump scares, but it does hit in a certain way. Like the way that things happen, it's just you get that papa sound every single time something happens, but it's not in a way that's outside of what it's supposed to be. It adds to the story instead of taking away from it, like so many like jump scares do nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
No, they're
Yeah.
earned.
Yeah.
It's earned, and it builds a great atmosphere.
And it adds
Exactly.
to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It enhances rather than takes away.
Yeah, yeah.
It's your favorite movie.
Yep, it's my favorite movie. It's my favorite of the franchise. And it's just straight up my favorite movie. Yes, Marty.
But Christian, considering that, like, again, he redone the first 10 minutes, you could obviously maybe go ahead and cut the first Evil Dead, the section where Ash is about to be hit, and then remove the first 10 minutes and connect it to like that, and it'll still work. But what do you think of it being your favorite? Sam Raimi cherry-picked a lot of gags from the Three Stooges. Do you think that benefited the movie, or do you think that was a bit too?
Oh well, that stuff's even in there in the first film. There's the scene with the sockets bleeding in the first film was a Three Stooges reference. Hell, they called all of the like dummy props for all of the actors who left fake shemps. So that even this Three Stooges element is kind of ingrained into the franchise. Like,
yeah, Garrett even has his name changed to that as well.
Oh my god!
Like,
I didn't notice that. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Like Raimi's even talked before, him and Campbell kind of came up with especially with 2, it becomes very evident. Ash is kind of a blending of all Three Stooges into one being.
I've heard that.
And it's basically just all Three Stooges taking on a group of demons, so which just works so well. But no, I like all the comedic elements of the film. It's a quintessential horror comedy. It still has a lot of really good and genuine scares and really good bits in it, but it's not afraid to be a little bit more comedic at points too.
Is this Sam Raimi's answer to the Universal and Abbott and Costello thing? Is it like
it could be, yeah,
kind of the Three Stooges answer?
Yeah.
I always wondered that.
Yeah.
It's the whole Three Stooges thing is kind of a Sam Raimi like gimmick. Like he does that in everything he ever does. Like you could see episodes of like Hercules or Zeta, and there's Three Stooges stuff in there, like silly physical gags and so forth. And speaking of the Three Stooges, you mentioned the thing with the light bulbs. I believe that's a reference to a Three Stooges short called "The Plumbing We Will Go," where they go plumbing. They go to their plumbers, and they're trying to fix this house, and they end up running all the water pipes to the electrical pipes, and the light bulbs fill up with water. It's pretty funny.
Yep.
I even think about that moment where Ash has such a sad moment, and just the way his face goes is so reminiscent of Mo. Like, you know, he just like the over the top kind of sad face and the teary eyes and the noises that he makes and such. And the section with his hand going nuts against him, like that goes to show how great Bruce Campbell is at his craft. I love that part.
Absolutely.
He can act in reverse. I never knew the dude is apparently an expert in acting in reverse.
Really?
It's like, Jesus Christ. Garrett, what do you think? Do you think this movie benefited from having the comedic element? Or do you like it because of the comedy, or have you issues with it because of the comedy?
Yeah, well, we never really had the Three Stooges in the UK, so it was pretty all new to me. But I still enjoyed it.
Oh.
But I think it was Army of Darkness. I noticed it more with the bit and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Lethal Weapon helped as well with all its references to Three Stooges.
God bless Mel Gibson.
For some things.
It's kind of strange you guys didn't get the Three Stooges over there. I thought they were like worldwide.
He's not funny all the time.
Yeah, we had Harold Lloyd and stuff like that. But yeah, the Stooges, I guess, didn't translate over here. Even though it's physical comedy.
Garrett, can you imagine a horror movie with a Benny Hill character?
No.
I would watch that.
Maybe
I would
the
watch
dream.
the hell out of that.
That's
Yeah, there you go.
friggin' Benny Hill meets Frankenstein. I would,
Yeah, that would work. Well, we had Cannon and Ball.
So
They did the Tale of the Headless Horseman.
I've never
With a UFO instead of Headless Horseman.
Nice.
It's not a good film.
I gotta check that. I gotta check that out. Triv, I've one word for you, Triv, and I want your thoughts on it. Work shed. What
Oh my
comes to
God.
mind when I say work shed?
The fact that they have
You-
that
you-
full
you
of
know
a
the-
work shit. Oh,
You know the
what-
story behind that, and how Kurt Russell.
I don't actually, but I will say that I was.
You know the story about Kurt Russell as well.
I don't know the story of Kurt Russell with that.
What?
I don't know the story of Kurt Russell with that. You'll have to enlighten me. I was just going to say that it was surprising how well stocked that shed was, despite being in the middle of nowhere.
Got everything you need.
Yeah,
Supernatural's well prepared.
it's like S-Mart.
it's a,
So
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a mini S.
like all the little quick, like all the little. It's pretty cool. Like I like
It
that scene where he's building the chainsaw hand, getting ready to carve up his girlfriend.
the
All he needed was a wood chipper like they had in Tucker and Dale.
Yeah.
the thing I love
Damn college.
is that the thing I love is on the set, walked up to Bruce Campbell and said, "Say work shed." Bruce Campbell's like, "What? Why?" Apparently, when they released Evil Dead 2, they overdubbed work shed. So he said the line and they added the dub on again, so it sounds really weird. It's just like work shed. His lips aren't even moving when the words come out. That's Kurt Russell. Apparently Kurt Russell was enthralled by the fact that like Bruce Campbell sounded like that and wanted to know, well, did he actually sound like that in real life?
That's awesome. There's so much cool stuff with behind the scenes of movies like this. It's just
Yeah.
the stories we hear
Guys,
versus
I'm going to bounce out for a minute. I'm going to bounce out for 1 minute. I'm going to see if I can try and get the try and get my net working again. Work away there. I leave Jen.
Oh God.
Oh no.
No.
Oh.
This
I
is
think he was
bad.
going to say the trees in
God.
charge.
Oh God, people. So I'm driving the car, so we'll probably all die, and I apologize for this. Okay, I'm gonna start with Christian, and we'll work our way around. Okay, what you said? It's your favorite movie.
It's my favorite movie of all time.
It's
I
your-
love
Why?
this movie.
Why? What makes it stand out for you? What is the best?
It is the most rewatchable film ever for me. Like, there's not a time where I sit down and watch this movie and don't notice something new about it or something I never realized before about it. Just think, oh, that's a cool little thing to do there. It always engrosses me. It always enchants me. Campbell is fucking mesmerizing in it.
Yes.
Just everything about the movie is just so damn good. You got some of the greatest special effects of all time. I remember my mind even though technically you could argue this is a flaw of the film, I remember being oh my God, that's so cool. When there's a point in the movie about the 40-minute mark where you can clearly see the soundstage or the gymnasium that they were filming in the roof of the gymnasium. You can see basketball bleachers and stuff in the background. It's super cool.
And it didn't take you out of the film.
No, I was like, oh, that's super cool. Any other movie that would take me out, but for some reason, this movie, I was like, oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
It's so good,
Yeah.
even its flaws.
Yeah,
are
it's
good.
always entertaining.
Ethel, what about you? What if it? I know it might not be your favorite film of all time, but what is your favorite part about Evil Dead 2? What just has the magic in it for you?
Well, it's a collection of different scenes. Like I mentioned, the tool shed scene where they have all the quick series of cuts and close-ups where them building the stuff. I always like that scene. I like the scene at the end with the vortex. I didn't expect that to happen. That was pretty cool. And then they've got like the ghost of what's his face there, the doctor who translated the book. That was such a nice addition because it gave it like a haunted house, like ghost feel, whereas the last one was more like a zombie feel.
Very cool. Very cool. Garth, what about you? What is the magic for Evil Dead for you? If you would to pick one favorite part, what is the magic for you?
The camera tricks.
Oh, I love the camera tricks. Me too.
That's my
The stuff with the mirror, then
Oh,
Very
the mirror
cool.
scene.
jump cuts over when the professor's ghost comes in. It's
Yeah.
zero budget.
Yes. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay, Kara, what is your favorite out of the whole Evil Dead, the Evil Dead 2? What is your favorite part of the movie? What's the magic for you?
I'm just going to be honest. I like that splash zone. Every time somebody gets killed, it's just this big.
I get that. That's an awesome choice.
It's so good.
And last but not least, what about you? What do you think is what is the best part of Evil Dead 2?
I love Bruce Campbell's reaction to all the crazy stuff that goes on. I mean, whether you're talking about the deer head or moose head to like everything else that's going on, he looks around and he has that look on his face like anyone would. And the part where he's fighting his hand is just, it's such a physical thing. And although there are a lot of actors that do physical stuff, I think it's done in such a way that it makes it so unique. They speed things up, they slow things down, they cut stuff, they add stuff. There's so much work in those scenes that people probably overlook because they see it as goofy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree. There's a magic, and most people. I'm going to ask the whole panel. I know Christian? It's already his favorite. Is 2 anyone else's favorite in the panel? Is of the movies? Does anyone else say that 2's their favorite out of all the Evil Dead franchise?
Yeah, I would.
Oh yeah, it matches that balance between, because like you said, Evil Dead 1 has that sense of being a little bit more somber despite having like some comedic tones, and 3 goes so far into the funny territory, which is amazing, but this is a really nice balance between the two. And I think that's something you don't get often in sequels.
I agree. That's a great point to bring up. Marty, I'm trying to get them to take off their clothes, but they're not doing it.
Oh, my hands are attached
No,
to my
Jen.
side, so I can.
Please. No, not again.
I need $50 non-greasy, please.
Non-sappy. It's more sappy. The sticky and sappy. The sticky
I
and
take
sweet.
PayPal.
Jen, despite you being a super horny tree, you done a fantastic job while I was away. To answer your question, probably my favorite scene is where Professor Noby's daughter is trying to save Jake from Henrietta in the basement, and just gallons upon gallons of blood. At this stage, I would have just let go. Like, why was she holding on to his fucking legs? For fuck's sake.
Why was she? You're kind of the expert. Why was she?
She really wanted his teeth. Everyone on set was mesmerized by those teeth, so she just really wanted. That's my logic. She just really wanted to have his teeth.
Apparently, guys, I don't know if you know this. Sam Raimi went to college with the Coen brothers, and they shared an apartment and a room with Holly Hunter, who was apparently a roaring bitch to the 3 of them. So they based the character of Bobby Joe on Holly Hunter.
Oh, that's amazing.
If you listen.
She's my new hero now.
Yep.
What happened to her in the film? I can't remember.
She was attacked by a tree in a non-sexual manner.
Yeah, in a non-sexual manner.
They learned their lesson.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, going off something Marty said. Actually, the one of the I can't remember if it was Ethan or Joe, but one of the Coen brothers was actually an assistant editor on the original Evil Dead. It was the first thing it was the first movie they ever worked on.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah,
I
one of the
think it was
Coen
Joel.
brothers. Yeah, it was. It was Joel. Was the first one of the first movies they ever worked on.
One other kind of fun point about the blood was at premiere screenings, they had blood donor stations set up to give free tickets to folks, along with badges that said, "I bled for Evil Dead."
Yep.
And it was their way of
That's
giving blood
pretty
back to
cool.
the community. Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Oh,
Yep. One day I am going to find one of those pins and that don't cost like $500 on eBay. One day I will.
they're awesome.
Yep.
And then they used the combination of blood in the first one. It was a combination of Caro syrup, non-dairy creamer, and red food coloring. And at one point, Bruce Campbell's shirt got so covered in fake blood that it actually it got solidified and broke when he tried to put it on.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing about that.
Apparently, the first one as well. There was no proper running water in the cabin, so they had to use cups of coffee to wash their hands and face.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that comes back in 3 when Bruce Campbell like pours the hot teapot down his throat to get rid of the mini.
So the ending, I love the ending in this one. Like you have basically Ash versus Henrietta, played by the long-suffering brother of Sam Raimi, Ted Raimi.
Okay.
The costume went through so much wear and tear. The literal ass was split.
Yep.
You could see where the costume where it was spinning. But Garrett, what did you think of the ending for Evil Dead 2?
Yeah, it was great. Left me wanting more, definitely, especially when in a different time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you kind of suss out earlier on when Ash found the page and saw the picture of the hero from the sky? Did you suss out that was Ash himself, or was
Probably
it
not
like
my first
was
watch.
it? Yeah.
On the second watch with the chainsaw and his blue shirt.
It's still pretty cool though. It's a cool little twist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ash gets sent back to medieval times, and that's the setup for the next movie. Ironically, they never used that setup in the movie, in the subsequent movie, which kind of bothered me. Like in the end of this one, he's a hero, but then in the next one, he's essentially he's a prisoner. So that's leading on to Army of Darkness. Triv, what's your initial thoughts of Army of Darkness?
I feel really bad for Ash because that took place over the course of about 3 days, and that's a rough 3 days, I gotta tell you.
Yeah.
No, it's so over the top and funny. Like it brings in all these gags and they come at you so fast. And it works great. I think it's amazing. It's a good way to end the series.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people complained that Ash was like super unlikable in this, but as Triv pointed out, Ash just had the worst couple of fucking days, so you can't really blame him for being a bollocks. Ethel, what do you think of the character change in part 3? Do you think it's justified, or do you think maybe they made a bad idea making this guy our hero?
No, it's great because he's like an anti-hero. He's not trying to save the day. He just wants to go home, and like he gets rooked into saving the day, and then of course he's a total screw up and wakes up the army of dead because he didn't fucking listen.
What?
That's relatable. Like, that's a relatable thing because I feel like that would happen to anybody. Like you've just gone through all this crap. You have to listen to all this mumbo jumbo, and then you have to fight for your life to get to the location. You've had your hand bit by one of the books. You had it like slap you in the face. I mean, you're not going to remember every single syllable. You say it basically close enough.
Yeah. Good one.
I love the trailer because they're like, I love the trailer because the narrator's like they wanted a wise guy, they wanted a wise man, but what they got was a wise guy, and then it's that scene where he's mispronouncing fucking the words. Great.
I don't know about you guys, but I would have loved the Japanese title, which was Captain Supermarket versus the Army of Darkness.
Yep.
I would have loved if they'd went with that one.
That'll work.
Cara, what's your favorite scene from Army of Darkness?
It's.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
No. Okay, Cara, go on.
It's an interesting combination, but it's so cheesy and overdone. But I kind of like the one where he like splits himself and he starts fighting and kicking his own butt.
That's a great scene. Particularly the stop motion where it's like it's scuttling down the hill, singing "Oh Susanna." I love that bit.
Yeah.
But again, Cara, do you think this was the right direction to go for the series, or do you think horror fans might have been a bit pissed off, and this is why it didn't do as well as the other ones?
It's hard for me to give a straight answer on that because 3 was the first one that I actually remember watching. So I'm more biased towards that. And then, of course, years later, I went back and watched the first 2. But I think it's a good combination. I mean, it works well in the series. I don't see it as a throwaway.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's definitely a departure, but it's still a worthy addition. Jen, what's your favorite part, if any, of Army of Darkness? I don't know. There's no rapey trees, but is there anything that you can enjoy from it?
Yeah, I can. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys. This is my least favorite one. Now, I enjoy it. It's not like I hate it or think it's a horrible movie. But you know me, Marty. I'm a horror through and through. So this one was kind of a departure for me. And I love Bruce Campbell. And I love that he's just such an asshole in this one. And it's not just because he's an asshole, just because he's an asshole. There's actually a good reason. And I appreciate that part of it. But for me, this is the weakest one for me. There was a little too much comedy. I wanted a little bit more, though. Not to say there wasn't comedy in the other 2, but for me, I prefer the first 2 a little bit more. That's just me. I'm just being honest.
Whereas the other 2 are horror comedies, this is a comedy with horror elements in it.
Yes, exactly. And it's just, it doesn't quite hit the mark. Like, I will grab the first 2 Evil Deads a lot more than Army of Darkness. A lot of times, Army of Darkness, I'll pass on. No hate to anybody who loves Army of Darkness. I can totally get why. But for me, it never works quite as well as the first 2. So,
No,
what do I know?
I have to get my chainsaw now.
Do you think it's a movie that's kind of do you think it's a movie that's gained kind of it's found a new audience over time and it's kind of redeemed itself?
Yes, a lot of people say that they really enjoy this film. It's kind of their new favorite. In fact, some people prefer it over Evil Dead 2 or 1, which I don't understand.
Nowadays, this is the one I hear most people say is their favorite of the franchise.
How do you feel about it?
I like Army of Darkness, but I'm kind of like you. I like it more than you do, but it's also my least favorite of the franchise. I prefer 1 and 2 in the remake over, but I still really enjoy Army of Darkness. It's everything great about Sam Raimi as a director. You know, you get the genre on a low budget. The movie's visually very striking. It's just overall, and Campbell's amazing in it as always. So it's only my least favorite just because of how much I love the other in comparison.
So going around go clockwise, favorite creature or favorite monster in Army of Darkness, because we had a bigger variety. Jane, Christian, what was your favorite kind of monster or creature in the movie?
Skeletons.
Sewer bitch at the beginning.
Sewer
of the movie.
bitch is good too.
Okay. Ethel, what about you? Favorite monster in this one?
Oh, definitely got to go with the pit beast.
Ooh.
It comes out of nowhere, like it blended in with the wall, jumps right out at him. Oh, it's great. You know, he gets to use his chainsaw to hack it up.
That wasn't supposed to be featured in the movie, but the guy, like Sam Raimi, was not interested in it. But one of the guys went into the costume and scared Sam Raimi when he was having a look around the workshop. So they're like, "Fuck it, we got to put this in the movie." Cara, what's your favorite creature, creepy crawly, or monster from Army of Darkness?
No one in particular, but yeah, the evil Ash is the one that stands out for me.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Like I wonder again, like you said, Carol, when they're talking shit to each other, and there's two alternate lines. It's like, "Oh, you're goody two shoes," and he like shoots him in the face. "I ain't that good." And then the alternate line, I think, is "Good, bad, I'm the one with the gun." Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's a pretty fun sequence. Triv, have you a favorite kind of creature or character from this entry?
I gotta go with the mini ashes. Just the shit that they pull when they're doing all their stuff. It's such a great set of scenes, and like when it goes on to Evil Ash, that's great too. But like all the mini ashes, just all the work that had to go into those. I love that part.
Yeah, it's iconic.
Garrett, what's your favorite kind of creature, creepy crawly from Army of Darkness?
Evil Ash after he's been resurrected, I think.
Ooh.
When he's when he's fighting Good Ash, and they're trading off against each other. Like, you're going down, I'm going up.
That's a brilliant, and you can kind of see the inception of Xena in some of those scenes as well, kind of Xena and Hercules. So I'm going to go backwards again. We're going to finish on Army of Darkness, but there's two endings. There is the happy S-Mart ending, and there is the kind of Planet of the Apes apocalypse ending. Garrett, which one do you prefer, dude?
I like both. Because they went nowhere. Yeah, I like the shootout in the S-Mart, but then also where it could have gone in the apocalypse.
I love that one as well, madam. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store, because like I've worked in retail, and like I don't even care if the woman was possessed. I'd love to do that to a customer that was just talking. Triv, which is your favorite ending out of the two?
There's way too many happy endings in Hollywood, and I'm a sucker for Planet of the Apes type things.
Yes.
I gotta go with the apocalyptic ending. So
yeah,
that was a fun ending as well, and you could tell that Bruce was like just hamming it up. Then again, that's the only way he fucking acts. So
yes.
Cara,
I hate people who damn things up.
Okay. Cara, out of the two endings, which was your favorite?
I'd go with the apocalyptic also, just because it seems more true. Like there's just always bad stuff happening to this guy. He can't get a break.
Yeah. It is fitting with the character. You're dead right. Ethel, favorite ending?
Well, first, I like how both endings set us up for a sequel that we never get, unless you count the video game. But I like the S-Mart ending.
Yeah, the S-Mart one is fun.
Because I like the idea of the trouble from the cabin and the trouble from the old struggle with the Army of Darkness encroaching on the modern setting, like the S-Mart, and like they could have done a lot with that if they'd gone that route and made a fourth one in S-Mart.
Ooh, my hair.
Yeah, was it Fistful of Ethel? Was it Fistful of Boomstick or Regeneration that took that ending? Which game fucking took the ending? I'm trying to think.
It was Fistful of Boomstick, which I should have brought down here with the movie, but I didn't think about it till just now. Yeah, Fistful of Boomstick.
Yeah, it was Fistful of Boomstick. Yeah, because Regeneration's a sequel to that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Jen, Christian, which of the endings did you prefer?
Well, see, I am a dark emo tree, so of course I'm going to have to go for the more apocalyptic ending. I think it holds more true to character, and it just works a little better for me. I'm a downer tree. Like, I'm a happy rape tree, but I also have a dark, moody side.
You're dark wood on the inside.
A dark
There's
wood
a
on
bit
the
of
inside.
rock and roll in there.
Exactly. My sap goes dark, man.
Jen, I'll try not to teak you off. Jesus.
Oh, you sapling! Oh, you naughty sapling! You Marty! I'm going to spank you with my ivy.
After the fucking stream, Jen. After the stream, I warned you about this. Christian, what about you, dude?
Like Fiend said in the chat, the happy ending in the S-Mart is really great, but the apocalypse ending makes way more sense for Ash's character arc over the whole trilogy. It makes way more sense. But I do like both of them, but probably the apocalypse one.
Oh, also, before I continue, guys, I just want to do a big shout out because I wasn't ignoring you. I'm just having technical issues. Big shout out to Trenchy. Thanks a million, dude, for tuning in. TYTD Reviews. Thanks a million for tuning in. Full Moon. Thanks a million for coming in. Antro. Legend as always. Thanks for tuning in. Mike Tarm. Fantastic guy. Check out his stop motion. And anyone else watching, Kubrick Lover. Thanks a million for coming in. So yeah, you guys are legends. We got a set. See, the thing is, some people call it a sequel, some people call it a reboot. Cara, the Ed Alvarez, Evil Dead. What's your thoughts on it? And do you consider it a remake or reboot? What do you consider it to be? And do you consider it to be good?
Are we talking about that 2000s movie, the newer one that was released?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that was released in 2013, if I'm not mistaken.
I consider it a reboot. I think I remember hearing the filmmakers also referring to it as a reboot. I didn't care for it. Like the book in the movie, it just kind of foreshadows way too much stuff. Like, you already know what's going to happen because the picture in the book shows you. So am I reading the movie? Am I watching the movie? What's going on here?
It should have been called Book of the Dead then.
Yeah.
Picture Book of the Dead.
We're back to that thing. Now we're reading our Evil Dead movies.
Books are bullshit. They kill my kind. Books are bullshit.
Calm down.
Give me my sap boiling.
You weren't a fan of it, so Cara. There was no elements you liked, or like, was there? What do you think worked against the movie?
I would go with that same thing. Like, a lot of they were doing too much show, not tell. The story itself just seemed weak. Like, the special effects weren't bad, but I don't think it was really a worthwhile reboot. Like, I think more of it because it was pretty much, in my opinion, like 60 to 70% the same. So I would have liked to have seen a lot more development in different areas, or something just altogether different.
Okay. Triv, what's your thoughts on it? Do you agree with Cara, or do you think it's a diamond in the rough, or do you think it's a little oddity that needs more appreciation?
I can appreciate how much they took the things that happened in so I do think it's a remake. I can appreciate, like, the fact that they moved things around. It wasn't like Psycho 97. They actually took bits and kind of did different things with them, so you can recognize, oh, this happened to this person and that happened to that person. But they did try and change things around. Overall, I kind of was left, yeah. It just felt like there were no characters that stood out. It became another horror movie to me. But I will say the one kind of cool thing with it was in those opening shots over the course of the movie, they used like 200,000 or 300,000 gallons of blood, I think it was. I'm trying to find the actual thing. But like, they used more blood in the first scene than they did in the entire Evil Dead movie, I think.
Yeah, they did.
I apologize. I'm getting my trivia screwed up.
No, that's okay. Trenchy, I'm with Trenchy on this point. I like the remake. It was a great character. Jane Levy killed it, and the violence was fantastic. I felt it kept the spirit of the original Evil Dead, as well as doing its own thing. Yeah, I'm kind of with Trenchy in that. I like the whole kind of like, not only was she battling Kandarian demons, but her own demons. I thought that was clever, but I could see where Triv, yourself and Cara coming from as well. Garrett, have you seen this one? And what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't remember much about it, but the thing that stopped me watching it is when the tongue meets a knife bit. That always puts me off watching it. That's the sort of thing I don't like.
But so you kind of found it forgettable. So it's not really great, a great kind of thing in your view.
I enjoy it, but yeah, it's not the one I watch. But the rest of the one I watch.
Ethel, what about yourself? Your thoughts? Have you seen this one?
I do. I do. It's over here. Like I like how they had the 88 Delta in it. Did it need to be a remake? Certainly not. There's nothing wrong with making it a sequel and just having completely different people. That they could have done that. It's lackluster. Like, I saw what they were going for. They made a few changes here or there that make sense. Didn't have as much punch as the last three films, or the original did. And yeah, I don't hate it. I'm not enthused about it.
Okay. Jen, Christian, what's your thoughts on that?
I actually find this question fascinating because Christian and I, you know this, Marty, we're super, super horror people. And I figured when you got to this question, I figured all the panel would say, oh, this is a really great movie. We love it for this reason or that reason. Because usually in the horror circles, most people say this is one of the best remakes, if not the best remake of all time. And I thought, oh, God, you guys are going to kill me because I have always been that naysayer that, like, I can respect this movie, but honestly, I'm one of those old horror fans. I'm like, the original was so great. Get off of my goddamn lawn, you little bastards. Don't touch my Evil Dead. Just leave it alone. I will say I respect it, and I do love that it's very bloody and gory, and if you're a gore hound, there's really things you can appreciate it with. And I do like, as every horror fan has pointed out, it does fix a reason why they're there in the woods where we don't in the original.
Yeah, because in the original, they're just horny teenagers.
Yeah, which is actually fine for me.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm just, they're horny teenagers. So they're going to go to a decrepit cabin that probably has like drug dealers living in it or something.
Ambiance.
I don't know. I always find that weird.
But I find this very interesting hearing you guys say that it's not particularly a favorite of y'all's either, because mostly in the horror community, it's like one that's considered one of the better remakes you can touch. I don't have that opinion myself. I do respect it. I do love that it's very gory and bloody. It's not bad, but I figured you've got the perfect one already. Why touch it? But I'm old. I know. Get off of my land. Damn remix. What? You and your kids and you fangled
your damn kids with your baggy pants and your hula hoop.
Exactly. Fangled. Yeah, technologies. That's bullshit.
You bastards and your skippets.
Yeah, exactly.
And your Jankos.
Yeah, you little bastards. Yeah, that's more me. What about, I know you have a very different opinion, Sparky.
This is my second favorite of the franchise. I love this movie. Mia is a fantastic character. I love her whole thing of, like Marty said, she's both fighting the Kandarian demons and her own demon of drug addiction. She's trying to, become sober throughout the whole film. I like all of that. Our cast of characters are admittedly not that memorable besides her. I really like 70s guy who gets the fucking shit murdered out of him. I really like that guy, but like most of the cast isn't that memorable, but like the effects are top notch.
Gory as hell.
Somebody in chat pointed it out. I love the bit towards the end of the movie where she's like, where it's a because it's the Evil Dead movie. You gotta have somebody losing their arm. But instead of just cutting it off, she has to literally rip it off because a car fell on top of it. I thought that scene was really damn gruesome and cool. I really dig this movie. This is a remake done right, in my opinion.
It's not done badly.
I acknowledge it has issues and it's not a perfect film, and it's admittedly it doesn't have the importance that the original does, and the original is probably overall the better movie.
Probably.
But, it's a give and take thing. Some stuff the original does better, some stuff this movie does better. But just on a personal matter, this is my second favorite out of the entire franchise. I really, really love this movie.
I will say too, was 70s guy like immortal because he gets stabbed, he gets like beaten around the head, he gets like his hand all jacked up. I mean,
he gets nail gunned. He gets that 70s guy is like the MVP of this movie. He gets the most gnarly shit done to him.
It is fairly gory, and it is fairly kind of like, you know, it doesn't have the most memorable characters bar Mia, but I don't think it's a bad movie. But I can see where some people are coming from. Like, why retrace the old steps? Why not make it a sequel? Why not do something different? And luckily enough, we kind of got that in a 3-season series I absolutely fucking adore. I think that we should have gotten another season because I want to see him in the apocalyptic future fighting Deadites. But I'd be happy with the 3 seasons we got. Ash versus the Evil Dead. 3 seasons, short and sweet. Ended. I don't know, did it round it off right, or had they plans for a 4th season? But I like the way they kind of capped it off. Ethel, what's your thoughts on Ash versus Evil Dead? Was it a good idea to take it in the direction of a TV show, or do you think that we don't really need a TV show to do the Evil Dead series?
I think it was a great way to cap off the franchise, you know. Take it in that new direction. It gave it something fresh, because now you've got, you know, like Ash is doing something different every week, and we got crazy nutty things every week, and who doesn't love that? And you know that I love it in the pilot episode when he suits back up as Ash again, and he's putting on the girdle like that. That cracked me up.
My favorite bit is where he makes the cross for your one's parents, and then she's like, I'm Jewish.
I love that too.
I'm Jewish. He says, I wish you told me that. But yeah, it's great fun, and it's great crack. Triv, what's your thoughts on Ash versus the Evil Dead, the series?
I am terrible at TV shows. I have not seen it, but I think that, you know, when you're talking about a lot of experiences generally with movies or with properties, the ability, like Ethel said, to expand out the character and to learn more about them beyond what we see in the movies is a really good way to go. And I've heard amazing things about it. So from the perspective of someone that hasn't seen it but can see the good and stuff, I say, yeah, that's awesome. Plus it's Bruce Campbell, so you can't go wrong.
Yeah, what other series can you see Ash and the lower torso of a deadite fight where the intestinal tract pulls Ash's head up its arsehole? I think that's probably the best fucking thing I've ever seen in a horror movie. Forget gore, just having poor Ash's head pulled up the backside of a zombie's torso. You can't go wrong. Cara, have you seen this series? And if so, what's your thoughts? Do you think it was a good idea to make it?
I thought it was a lot of fun. I really liked it. I think Bruce Campbell does TV better than he does film, maybe just because it's more concentrated. But anyway, it's to me it was more like a throwback to like Xena or Jack of All Trades, or so it was just another opportunity to see him.
Cara, you remember Jack of All Trades?
I like that one.
I was just thinking the same thing. Oh my God, somebody else who's seen that show.
That's a brilliant show. But yeah, I think you did right, Cara. Go on, Ethel. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that show's hilarious. Like it should have gone longer. It only did one season.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wish it had gone longer.
And TYTD also says Briscoe County Jr. That was another fucking great show.
Yeah.
I love Briscoe County Jr. That show's so good.
I forgot how many shows he did.
Well, he also did that spy show before they brought back Ash versus Evil Dead, the Burn Notice.
Burn Notice, yeah.
Oh, that's right. He played the father.
Yeah, he's the best part of the show.
Yeah.
He's the only reason most people watch that show.
Yeah.
Gart, what's your thoughts on the Ash versus Evil Dead series?
Oh, I loved it. I just watched it again last week.
Ooh.
The second series season is probably the favorite because it takes it back to his hometown and you get to see his dad and everything and how the town thought of him.
Yeah, the Steve Austin.
I love Lee Majors.
Lee Majors, yeah, he's brilliant.
And
you learn why Ash is such a prick. But yeah, it's a great series. Were you happy the way Ethel? Were you happy the way the last episode was? Where they kind of done the Army of Darkness ending with Ash waking up in the future, or do you think that was a bit? Were you happy with that, or did it leave you wanting more?
Well, it's a great callback to the third movie with the apocalyptic ending. So I was happy with it.
Cool. Triv, were you happy with the way the show rounded off?
Oh, I didn't see the TV show.
Oh, sorry. I'm fucking sorry.
That's
I've
okay.
had like a
No, you're all good. No worries.
But I enjoyed it, but it left me wanting more. Okay, Cara, did you see the third season of that?
I didn't see this third. I've only seen the first and second.
I think all the seasons are up on Netflix, but yeah, it's a fun show. And Jen, Christian, were you happy with the way it rounded off?
Actually, I haven't seen. I'm with Triv on this one. I have not seen the show yet. I've been meaning to, but I'm really bad with TV as well, so I've not seen it. But I've heard good things. You have seen them though.
I've seen.
But I do think that. Sorry to interrupt you.
Go for it.
But I do think that that Ash is a character. I think no matter what he's doing, I think people have such a following and such a love for him. We tune in to watch him do anything, and I've heard only good things about the show. I've heard only really positive. So I think it's a good idea for the show. One of these days, I'm going to get around to watching it.
You'd like it. It's
Yeah.
good.
Go ahead.
I love the show. I think it was great. I was weirdly super hesitant about it when it was announced. I was like, I don't know. It's been ages since Campbell's played the role. Really, what can we do? And then the pilot episode, and you have, how did the Deadites come back? Oh, Ash got high and read the Book of the Dead to a prostitute. I was like, this is perfect.
This gets it.
This captures everything so wonderful about Ash. He's such an idiot, but I love it. And then I was like, instantly, okay, I'm sold. The show's fantastic. I love the show.
Have you seen the third?
Yeah, I wish much like Marty. The ending's good. I wish we would have gotten more of it, but I'm happy with where it concluded.
It's a fun series, but it did leave me wanting more. If you are looking for more Evil Dead, I'm going to let Ethel talk a bit about the games. But there's some great comics and graphic novels out there by both Dark Horse and Boom Studios. There's a fantastic Freddy versus Jason versus Ash comic out there on the unused script. There's also, if you're a fan of Hack Slash with Casey Hack, she joins forces with Ash to check it out. He's teamed up with Xena. Obviously, he's teamed up with Darkman. He's like, if I'm not mistaken, there was a short-lived Evil Pred comic where a bunch of predators get their hands on the Necronomicon. Weird fucking story. But yeah, if you're looking for more adventures, check out those comics. There's also a bunch of games. Ethel, you've played a couple of those games, right? Which do you think is the best of the lot and why?
The best of the lot, probably going to have to go with Fistful of Boomstick. It just narrowly beats out the first one that came out for PlayStation, Hail to the King, which the only reason that one doesn't get as high regards for me is just the controls are awfully stiff. You got those tank controls, and you've got that weird perspective from the camera, and like you can't control where it's looking at.
They went for a Resident Evil kind of control and vibe for that game. Like that was kind of common with survival horror in the PlayStation. But yeah, I can see that wasn't a great one either. Yeah.
But it's cool if you get used to it because it takes you through all three movies, and it's rewarding in that aspect. And you can upgrade your chainsaw hand. And like I don't know, it's got good things about it, and it does have genuinely scary moments, like a Resident Evil would have when you're playing it. Mostly it's just because your controls suck and you don't want to die. But
yeah,
it's a good game. Fistful of Boomstick was a great successor to that. Regeneration's all right. I didn't find it as challenging, or at least challenging in the right way. It's got a few glitchy things about it that kind of bother me, but it was pretty good.
That's interesting.
Good series of games.
Is actually my favorite of the three. That's interesting.
I like the fact you can the little zombie voiced by Ted Raimi that you can kick. You can kick him into stuff. But yeah, that's the Evil Dead saga, the Evil Dead franchise. Good bunch of movies, good TV show. And yeah, guys, do you think, Jen, Christian, do you think you'll be watching them for Halloween? Do you think you might crack out any of them for Halloween?
Oh, of course. It's a tradition for Christian.
It's a yearly tradition for me on Halloween night at right before midnight to watch Evil Dead 2. That's how I close my October off every year. So of course I will. And I've already watched the first one this year, and I'll probably watch the remake in Army of Darkness sometime too this month. So yeah, no, of course.
Yeah.
Ethel, what about yourself? Do you think you might watch any of the Evil Dead movies for Halloween?
Maybe not for Halloween because I'll be busy with the conga line, but in the days coming, I might as well. Hey, I got them all. So
exactly.
I'll give them a spin.
Okay. Cara, what about you? Are you going to crack out any of the Evil Dead movies for Halloween?
Probably not. We usually have a set of things that we watch yearly, so definitely gonna.
Cool beans.
Yeah. Traditions.
No, don't. Well, actually, yeah, a spin-off question. What would be, have you an essential Halloween movie to watch every Halloween? Is there one that you, Cara, is there one you come back to and watch every Halloween?
Army of Darkness. No, sorry. I said, oh, Lordy.
No, you're okay. You're okay.
I'm sorry. I have no idea why I said that. No, Demon Knight is the one that we look forward to every year.
Yeah,
that one's brilliant. That Demon Knight is better than Bordello, Jen. Okay, just accept it.
Marty, fuck you.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh, Dennis Miller, people. Dennis Miller.
Billy Zane. Do I need to say
Triv, what about you? Do you watch Evil Dead over Halloween?
Oh, definitely. And I try to watch the other kind of Cabin in the Wood type movies, like Tucker and Dale and Cabin in the Woods, and just because the Evil Dead kind of started that whole trend, and I love those. Additionally, I try and hit a weird selection of them. I try and watch The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, Halloween 3, Bucket of Blood from the 60s, and weirdly, Arsenic and Old Lace. I can't tell you why.
Very cool. Very good choices.
Garrett, do you watch Evil Dead over Halloween, or do you have a quintessential Halloween movie to watch?
I watched all three last week when you invited me to this.
Very
nice.
Okay.
Thorough, very thorough.
But yeah, I'll watch anything over Halloween. Whatever I fancy.
So, guys, I'm going to round stuff off, but before we finish or round stuff off, what's next, Jen, Christian? What's next on the agenda for you?
Just our 31 days of Halloween continues on. We've just got movies and stuff.
Yeah. Reviews and stuff. Our spoiler-free review of Halloween Kills is up, and all that.
Yeah, our spoil review will be up probably on Tuesday.
Yeah, our spoiler review for that will be up on Tuesday, and we will be on the horror hangouts talking about Halloween as well on Tuesday.
If you guys have a fixin' for anything Halloween, whatever movie, on Sean Patrick Erskne's channel, and Marty will be on it as well. Good people, good group of people.
Nice.
And I'll actually be doing a Halloween stream next Sunday as well, separate to that. So, yeah, should be good crack, should be good fun. Ethel, I know you got a lot planned. So, what's next in the pipeline for you? What's you got the conga line? So, okay, give us a rundown. What's happening with the conga line at the moment?
Well, right now I'm still still signing people up for the conga line. The sign-up deadline is the 25th, but I might extend that a day or two if I get a lot of interest all of a sudden. But yeah, it's basically almost a full 3 days of enjoyment of Halloween. You sign up for the event, and you leave a link in the description to the next person on the list channel, and you tell your audience to go follow that link to their channel, and sort of announce them, and then everybody jumps over to the next video like a big conga line, running from room to room.
The beat.
Right. And as far, oh shit, sorry, what?
No, after you, go.
But so you can get a hold of me to sign up for that at Twitter. So you can contact me via Twitter at @Ethel_Cross_, and we can work it out. I got a list. I convert to every time zone. There's no time zone is left out. So it doesn't matter where you live. We'll figure it out. And as far as I go, my channel, what I'm doing personally, aside from this event. Because it's October, it's the greatest month of the year, Halloween time, I am doing watch-along every Friday this month. And this Friday, we're going to be watching Frankenstein's Castle of Freaks.
Hell yeah.
That's a great movie.
And there's boobs in it, right, Ethel? There's boobs.
Oh, yeah. Tits galore. It's an Italian film. There's going to be boobies.
There's also fancy hats.
Yes.
I love fancy hats.
Yes, fancy hats are the greatest thing ever.
Fancy hats and dwarfs. Trench is going to love this one.
Yeah.
Oh, Trench is going to flip his fucking biscuits for this flick. Yeah, Cara, what's on the horizon for you? Any videos coming out, or what? Any new stuff that's coming out you want to promote?
I'm still doing my 31 Days of Halloween combination vlogoing, so I'm still working on editing stuff. I'm kind of hauling tail to try and make sure I have stuff edited so I can have something new to upload every day. So I have either a photo challenge that I'm working on, or it may be a film review. So which one I can get first.
I'll have to catch up on those at the
that'll kick ass. Cool. Triv, what's next on the horizon for you?
Tomorrow I'm releasing a collab with Morbid Heart Design on Black Heart, which is an incredibly fun 80s rocker / Halloween movie. I've also got Scream, Blackula Scream, and Rocky Horror Picture Show at the end of the month, which is part of the Candy Corn Conga, and I'm super stoked to be part of it.
Nice.
Very cool.
Cool.
It's gonna be
cool
awesome.
Beans. Garrett, have you any new videos or showcases of VHSs that is coming out, or anything? Any projects that you want to plug?
Yeah, I plan nothing. I just post whatever.
That's awesome.
Or a VHS coming out. So yeah.
Yeah. Again, I really like your stuff. You do some fucking really cool kind of overviews and stuff like that. I just gotta say thank you, because I know it's the busiest time of the year for you. Jen Christian, thanks a million. Even though Jen is probably fucking, she's kind of got work coming out her ears. She's gorgeous, she's beautiful, and she always makes time for me. Ethel, thanks a million. I know you're up to your arms and elbows in organising the conga line. Thanks again. Cara, again, as you saying, you're doing editing. I really appreciate you coming in and taking time out of your schedule to jump on and discuss Evil Dead. Triv, same to you. You do some absolute kick-ass stuff, and it means so much to have you on, and you're always welcome in future. So don't be a stranger. Garth, same to you, dude. I love your stuff.
Thank you.
And it was an absolute pleasure to have you on. Guys, everyone in the chat, thanks a million for tuning in. You kicked arse. And yeah, guys, check out The Evil Dead this Halloween, because if you haven't seen it, you're missing out. And again, big thanks to everyone involved. And yeah, check in on Ethel and the Candy Corn Conga line. There is still, how many spaces are left, Ethel, again?
There's about 8 or 9 spaces left.
Okay, so yeah, you can hit up Ethel on Twitter at _Ethel_Cross, and yeah, again, it's going to be great crack. A lot of us guys are participating in it. Should be good fun. And to everyone who watched tonight, thanks a million for tuning in. And yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye now.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Yeah, baby.
Groovy.